I call this one the Black Swan. Do you know what a Black Swan is? It's not that movie that you're thinking about. Get your head out of the gutter. A Black Swan is an event that happens that changes the course of history forever that couldn't have been predicted. And throughout history, there's been a lot of these big scale Black Swans, positive ones and negative ones. A positive one is the invention of the internet. Maybe you saw it coming when there were these big naval computer machines, but nobody would have thought that we'd be communicating at scale, in video, in these social networks when the internet first got invented. It was a niche thing. Negative Black Swan, 9/11, right? 9/11 happened one day to the next. Nobody really saw it coming, and it changed the way that geopolitics have functioned forever. It changes the way that we interact, the way that we travel. It has changed all sorts of things. These Black Swan events happen in everyday life. And there's a Wall Street trader called Nassim Taleb that wrote a book called Black Swan about an investment philosophy based on Black Swans. And in that philosophy, he theorized that if you put most of your money in very, very safe investments and a percentage of your money in industries that lend themselves to being exposed to positive Black Swans, that is the best way to get a big payout, because you are keeping stuff safe and systematically exposing you to something that could be super, super big, like life sciences, like tech, that kind of thing. In that book, he talks about the value of living in New York City. And he argues that one of the reasons why it's so expensive to live in New York City, and it's worth it, is because you're so dense, you're so clustered with so many people that you are constantly exposing yourself to a positive Black Swan happening. Now think about that. If the more people that you meet, the more people that you interact with, the more there's a chance of something amazing that happens that changes your life forever, then networking and relationship building and everything that we're talking about here is a systemic way to expose yourself to positive Black Swans. And I tell people this all the time. When they go to conferences, they're so fixated on seeing the person on stage, learning whatever the keynote speaker is saying, and they're not focused on meeting the people around them. At the end of the day, it's true. You can learn something from a keynote speaker that then you're gonna have to come back and refine. But what if you meet that one business partner that can scale your business forever? That one service provider that can provide that solution that you needed in order to free yourself up and make a ton more money, right? What if the person you meet ends up introducing you to your wife or ends up introducing you to your best friend? These are all Black Swan events, and I've been a part of many. The way that I met my wife was a Black Swan event. The way that I've been able to network in the business that I'm building was a one-off introduction to somebody of a friend, and if I hadn't put myself in that space to meet them, to get my first client to build this business out of, I never would have been able to do it. So think about that. Whenever you don't feel like meeting that next person, whenever you don't feel like making that handshake, whenever you don't feel like showing up, think about what positive Black Swan you could have left on the table. What if that next introduction is that one connection that you needed to make all your dreams come true? That's the Black Swan.